This week, we're saying bye to Google Stadia, so let's just go ahead together as a people and take it out! And welcome to another sensational Sunday. I'm Mike and I'm here to bring you the gaming news, and of course the biggest story this week is that Google has officially announced that they are closing down Stadia. Yes, we are dropping right in with the story, so let's do the scrolling article. So yes, Google is officially closing down Stadia in January. They have stopped any purchasing on the store. Anyone with a Pro membership will continue to have those benefits until it closes down, and they will be refunding any game purchases, but not subscription purchases. So you won't get refunded for your Pro subscription, but you will get refunded for any games that you purchase through the service. So when I heard this, like, honestly, I was shocked. Was that a good take or we need to retake it? Okay, I wasn't shocked. Okay, fine. But that's because it was so obvious that this was doomed from the start. So their strategy was you're gonna have a free tier and a paid tier, where the paid tier is just higher quality video streaming, which GeForce Now offers a similar thing, but the difference between that and GeForce Now is when you buy games, you're just buying the games on Steam or Epic or whatever store, and this is basically letting you use a computer to play them. Whereas with Stadia, they wanted you to buy the games to own just exclusively on Stadia, meaning that you couldn't like natively play them on PC or anywhere else. So that was already just a bad start. I think for cloud gaming, subscription is just the way to go. Like, that's why xCloud works better. Even to a certain extent, PlayStation's works better. Amazon Luna even works better, even though theirs is kind of weird because they have like a multi-package system where you pick your packages and add-ons and stuff like that. But everyone else went with a subscription-based service. They went with a you buy the game at full price. So that was already doomed from the start. Then we got to talk about the fact that they shut down their game studio last February. That was a red flag because one of the things that they were talking about is, oh, through cloud gaming, you can enable all these experiences that aren't possible with traditional games, like these big cloud-hosted games with lower latency for multiplayer because it's going to be all hosted in the cloud. And if Google wasn't going to do this themselves, ain't nobody else going to do it, except for maybe Amazon at this point. So when they shut down their game studios, I was like, okay, so we're never going to get that stuff that they promised that was going to be so amazing that can only be done in the cloud. And it's true, there probably are things that they can do, like massive multiplayer games that will be better in the cloud as a streaming game than it would be native, just because you'd be able to host a lot more people, you wouldn't have to worry about hardware limitations, etc. But that just never happened. Then there was the fact that they launched that new Chromecast with Google TV last year, and they didn't bother even adding Stadia support to it for months. That shows you where their company's priority was as far as Stadia. So to me, it's not really that surprising that we got to this point where it's shutting down. I mean, it's unfortunate to the people who like that service. The service itself wasn't bad, but it didn't really stand apart as far as streaming quality from the other ones to justify having to buy games through this service exclusively. It was good, but so is xCloud, so is Luna, so is GeForce Now, and they're all very similar. It didn't stand above anybody else, and I think that Google thought that their cloud technology was the best, which their cloud technology was good, but having the best tech in gaming doesn't necessarily mean anything. Like the Xbox, the original Xbox had the best hardware for that generation, and they lost decisively because they were just entering gaming. They didn't know how to navigate that space. They came back with the 360. It was super successful. The Xbox One, it was kind of It was somewhere in the middle, but either way, they learned from their mistakes. They made other mistakes, but they learned from their initial mistake that like having those powerful hardware wasn't going to get them anywhere. And also look at Nintendo, like the Switch is killing it as far as sales. That's definitely not the most powerful hardware. It's not even up there with the PS4 and the Xbox One. So having the best cloud streaming service doesn't automatically mean that you have the best strategy to sell games or you know how to navigate that market. And I think Google learned that the hard way. Now, there's also been some comments from developers as well who were kind of upset about it because they had some games that are launching up there. It looks like a few of them were indie games. And one of them said that Google had the best revenue split for developers out of all the cloud streaming services for games, which makes sense because you're just buying the game at full price directly from their store. And also for indie games, it was probably a good platform to be on because there's a lot less competition than like Steam or even Epic Game Store at this point. So yeah, this is a whole mess for developers, and this was a last minute announcement for them as well. Like one of them literally had a game that was supposed to be launching in 2 days that who knows what's going to happen with it now. So it does suck for devs. So I don't want to make light of that whole situation. I just think that all these decisions that Google made have led up to this point, and that's why it's not really that surprising looking from the outside in. But you know what is surprising? Netflix, they're actually starting their own game studio. So I've talked about Netflix gaming a few times. Basically, they have some mobile games on Android and iOS right now that you could download as part of their Netflix service if you have one of the higher subscription plans. So they want to get more serious about it, so they have invested in their own studio. And I believe the idea is just for them to release games that kind of coexist with their shows. I'm going to be honest, I just have not been interested in Netflix gaming. I just feel like it's going to be another excuse for them to raise the price. They've already raised the price. I mentioned this before, so I'm not going to go too much into this rant about them raising the prices again. And also, I don't know if there's going to be a market for this content. I might be wrong at this point, but we'll see. I don't think that I want to play a mobile game for every popular show that's on Netflix, you know. I don't think that's going to do anything for me as far as like bridging the gap to the next season or something like that. We'll see. I just feel like they're kind of wasting money with this, to be honest, and I feel like it's going to go back to the users, and that's usually what always happens in these situations. So I don't want to be too negative on it because they just announced the game studio, so we'll see what happens from here. But and in our final story, we got another new PlayStation exclusive, well, not new, we got another PlayStation exclusive game coming to PC. We have Uncharted coming up later this month. And then we got Spider-Man Miles Morales coming by the end of the year. We already knew about those. But Sackboy's Big Adventure is coming to PC. Okay, it's not the most exciting game, I'll admit it. It's not super exciting. I have it on PS5. To be honest, I kind of bounced off of it. I love the Little Big Planet games. I didn't like that game as much for some reason. But yes, it is coming to PC if you want to experience Sackboy's Big Adventure, continuing Sony's excursion on PC, and I am glad that they're continuing it because so far it's been awesome, like being able to play God of War at 120 frames. It's really cool, and I hope that they continue to bring games to PC. Obviously they are. They invested in that studio that does PC ports, so I think that this is going to be the new norm. Maybe like a few months to a year after launch, then we'll get the game on PC, which I'm fine with because it's not going to cut into their PlayStation sales. So I am glad that they're bringing more games to PC. I wish it was a more exciting game in this case, but it's still cool that they're continuing this whole initiative. I'm continuing my initiative to get out of here, but let me know what you think. How do you feel about Stadia shutting down? Are you excited for Netflix games? Have you even tried it? And are you excited for Sackboy's Big Adventure on PC? Again, let me know, and I'm bringing this video to a close, but if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to tell a friend, tell a coworker, like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell notification to be notified when I drop a video, and always do at least 2 things at the same time.